Oh my goodness. Okay. Hello everybody. Oh, wait a second. Oh, that's what I get for. Looks like my Zoom died on me. 1 second. This is why we can't have nice things. So there you go. 1 second. Doink. Okay. All right. There I am. Hello everybody. All right. So glad everybody enjoyed the feedback yesterday. I got about TryHackMe was very positive. I'd like to thank everybody for coming back today. Latrunda and what's his name? He whispered me, or they whispered me their credentials so that I could, let's see, make sure that no, that's not it. How's everybody doing today? There it is. Easy sidestep. There you go. They got two of our 2 month vouchers for premium access to TryHackMe. On the advice of everyone else, I did go and check out Hack the Box Academy. There is it is pretty awesome. They do have a lot of stuff there. I've been in Hack the Box for a while. It's an old username of mine, but yeah, it seems like they've got a lot going on here, all the way from meow to what appears to be VIP related items. So I think we'll get to these soon enough. I want to my mentee. I told you he was feeling a little under the weather. He's got some bronchitis, so he's taking some antibiotics. Hopefully he'll be joining us in here soon, if he's not already. And we'll be able to continue on, but he might be just joining us on the chat. So yeah, I hope everybody's having a good day. And I'm Brian, by the way. Hello, everybody, all you new folks, if you're new. Been doing this for about a week, about 9 days now. So hope everybody's having a good week. It is Hump Day, so Wednesday being what it is. I wanted to make sure that everybody was aware of what we were doing. So TryHackMe, of course, is a free method by which we can learn how to do pen testing. And if you are interested in following along, you can go to tryhackme.com and sign up for a free account. There you go. Tryhackme.com. It's free. You can actually go premium. As we've mentioned in previous streams, like yesterday, the free gives you a virtual machine that runs on their infrastructure for an hour. So you can do as many exercises as you can within the hour. I believe, unless just a lot of the exercises I'm hoping take less than an hour as we progress through. I did talk to AJ and he said he had made it all the way through to the cross-site scripting side. So he's actually quite a bit further ahead of me, which is fine. Where he's already down here to cross-site scripting. He says he's been trying to do a chapter a night, which is pretty awesome. So he's probably going to finish up command injection and SQL injection. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of reverse teach, if you will, when he comes back on, which will probably be Monday because he was feeling pretty icky. So we're gonna let him get over his bronchitis so that he can actually speak, and not feel all woozy. And when I get bronchitis, I tend to get a bit lightheaded and stuff, but. So yeah, I'm gonna continue on through with content discovery. So if y'all are interested in watching or following along, you can do that. And if we have some time at the end after the content discovery lesson, we may look into subdomain enumeration, which is ways of understanding and discovering subdomains, expanding your attack surface on a target, and like if you go to google.com. The subdomains might be news.google.com, drive.google.com, mail.google.com. There are ways to enumerate those top level, those top level like google.com domains. You can actually enumerate all the ones in between. And we'll do some exercises with that potentially either today or tomorrow. So yeah, very interested. If you're interested, yeah, go ahead and check that out, and we'll go ahead and get started here. So Just for everybody's edification, I'm going to throw up the spoiler alert here. I'm going to, flash that a few times. I'm doing it the easy method. I'm just, got an overlay with some stuff on here. So there is a spoiler alert. You have been warned. Anything past this point, if you are trying to do these exercises with us, you might want to take a look and pause the stream if you're, not following along, but you might want to check and pause this and then do the exercise to make sure you got it right, or if you want to learn a different way or what have you, you can do that. So okay, so content discovery. First task: what is content discovery? First, we should ask, in the context of web application security, I think it definitely means that. So what is content? Content can be many things: a file, a picture, a video, backup, a website feature. Yeah, I mean, a feature could be anything that is about presentation, anything you can see on a website. So a script, if you will, not just a file, but like a script. There might be specific files on there, like PDF or doc files. Hopefully you don't have doc files on there, but I have searched several websites that have content on them, specifically like role-playing game websites that are old from like archive.org. A lot of .doc files on there way back in 1999, 1998, where people were making things and they're just throwing it up on there. If it wasn't a netbook or something like that, then they would throw it up in a doc, or worse, an RTF, which is a rich text file, which was kind of like the precursor to doc files, kind of like the bridge between text.txt and .doc or what have you. If you've used WordPad on Windows, then you know what I'm talking about. All right, so when we talk about content discovery, we're not talking about the obvious things we can see on a website. It's the things that aren't immediately presented to us and that weren't always intended for public access. One of those examples, I think yesterday when we did the, you can get into the directory structure of the website. A lot of sites may hide directories, and if you have not set your web server up correctly, and it allows for directory listing, then doing that slash or doing a dot or something like that may enable you, or worse, if you're Google dorking, you can do like index of, and so if you're doing some Google dorking, index of, and then like PDF. Oops, that's so yeah. See, like this right here, just as an example. I have no idea what this site is. Demo gods were kind to me and allowed me to figure out what's going on in here. But this is a site where if you do index of, because that's what is being looked at by the bot, the Google crawler, will crawl the internet looking for things like this. And some of the Google dorking that you'll learn if you take Joe Gray's class, the gentleman we worked with for Sunflower Con as part of the Ascension. These are just some of the very basic, because he goes way more depth, but this is just some of the techniques you learn. So you can find all kinds of stuff. Used to be these were like FTP type places. You could go to ftp dot whatever the site is .com, and you could get access to all these directories. I mean, there's a ton of stuff in here. I am not going to click on any of these because, in my ethical opinion, this should not be sitting on the web like this, because God knows, I mean, some of these are pretty old. I mean, but you've still got like a 3com directory here, Adaptec. Wow, that is ancient. That is ancient. Okay, but yeah, I mean, there's a ton of stuff in here. Wow, that is a big directory. Okay. I don't know what all this stuff is. It may look like an old software archive or something, but I would say Google has archived it for good or ill. I won't click any further because I feel like that would be crossing a line, and as somebody who's educating people on how to do things right, maybe not a good idea. So I'm gonna go ahead and close that. Doink. There we go. But that's an example. So if they misconfigured their web server. You know, you might be able to, and as we saw with that one flag, might be able to go in and um, access parts of the site that are not immediately available. So if there was an images directory or a slash pub directory or something like that, that wasn't an actual link on the website, you can go in and view those links. So yeah, so they say this content could be, for an example, pages or portals intended for staff usage. Oh, exactly. So if you have a slash admin directory, then you could go to, you know, at slash admin slash index.html and get access to the admin portal. If there's no, you know, authorization or authentication on that, you know, slash admin slash index.html, you may have staff access to a website or a forum or you know, flat file databases with, you know, usernames and hashes. I mean, it could be any kind of thing. Hello, Cyber Gladius. Oh, Cyber, thank you so much for your best Google. Yeah, thank you so much for your subscription. I do appreciate it. You are the first actual subscription that has come about that I didn't give away. So I appreciate your patronage. Thank you. Yeah, so, all right. So they say the three main ways of discovering content on a website, which we'll cover: manually, automated, and OSINT. Ah, see, that word OSINT again came back. Mr. Joe Gray of the Ascension, which is, it's actually spelled TheOsintion. There you go. Go to this website, theoscension.com, and he does all kinds of classes. He has a lot of stuff that's available, so... Yeah, I've been Google dorking for a few years. I don't, you know, I have a lot of what they would consider to be, I have confidence issues, but, you know, I can Google dork pretty good. I mean, there's always a ton of websites out there about how to do so, how to, you know, search for various things, or, you know, how to format your queries in such a way as you get what you want. That's one reason I don't like IoT devices where you ask it a question, because it's like, if I tried to format it in the same way that I format my Google queries on my computer, the little IoT device wouldn't even know how to reply. So, you know, it's like, oh, you know, hey, you know, asking the Google, hey, index PDF. It's like, well, it can't really give me an answer for that. I mean, you have to put it in a format that it can understand. So, but anywho, anyway, that's Ascension.com. You can go check them out. They have a ton of resources. He doesn't pay me to say this, but I mean, he just does really great work. I've taken the missing persons course, and it is really awesome. So you can actually help track and find people who are missing, either of their own volition or by people who've made them missing. So, all right. So, well, this one's pretty easy. You don't have to click the attack box yet, because the three questions are: what is the content discovery method that begins with an M? Let me think. In this case, if you go back up and read, it says there are three main ways of discovering content on your website. There they are. So the first one is manual. And if I could spell, there we go. Oh, manually. Maybe I'll put manually. That way I don't. There we go. Oh, I'm correct. Yay. And then automated. And doink. And then OSINT. OSINT. Open Source Intelligence. Yay, I win. Okay. So that is that one. All right. So there are multiple places we can check on a website to start discovering more content. The robots.txt is excellent. Yeah, so as they say here, the robots.txt is a file that tells search engines which pages they can and cannot crawl for search engine stuff. So yeah, robots.txt, it's actually one of the things that they suggest you put on your website to stop that. But in doing so, back, I don't know when the RFC for robots.txt was created, but let me close that. All right, so let me see. RFC robots.txt. So 2019, No robots.txt RFC. So it was 1996. So, you know, back in the day, back in my day. So they were talking about a method for web robots control. So there's a RFC. This is how the internet used to work when people needed to codify standards and stuff. So they talk about robots.txt. Yeah, there you go, right here. So here you go. So they talk about it's a specification document, a method for robots control. This memo specifies a format for encoding instructions to visiting robots and specifies an access method to retrieve these instructions. They must retrieve these instructions before visiting other URLs on the site. So every bot legitimately is supposed to look for robots.txt first, and they're supposed to honor that due to this RFC or the RFC like this. I think this one was still going on, but so example. So and then this whole document really boringly goes through and tells you how to format your RFC, site or your robots.txt for that. Some crawlers don't honor that, and you can actually do things when you're scraping a website using like wget. You can have it ignore robots.txt, or you can pull down the robots.txt and then do a search on those specific folders if they're all in there. But it really does send up like it's a Streisand effect. We don't want people to go to this, so we're going to advertise to the automation tools. We don't want you to go there. So humans can go in and go, yes. So they're stroking their beard in a very, evil way. So all right. So take a look at the robots.txt on the Acme IT support website to see if they have anything they don't want to list. To do this, open Firefox on attack box and enter the URL machine IP robots.txt. All right, let me start the attack box. What is the directory in the robots.txt that isn't allowed to be viewed by web crawlers? Okay. Oh, right, machine IP. That'll change once the box actually initializes. I do apologize. I should have started this up when I was reading through all of that. It would have made it a whole lot easier. So how's everybody doing this evening? Let's see who's on chat or who's watching or users. Let's see. Cyber Gladius, Black Heroes Everywhere, another TTV viewer. Excellent. Magnesium CW, welcome back. Sony PlayStations, hello. Sticks FF, okay. That is XIV, that is 14. Underworld Naiad, hello. Viewer of IRL. And Wars of the Star Trek Gate Star. Trek Gate Star, my apologies, yes. I love all of those series. Excellent. Yes, I can't control it. Thank you. Welcome. Cax IPS06, Lorix, Nerdy Dreams. Hello. And Sullied. Oh, Eclat. Oh. Okay. Sounds good. Thank y'all for coming. Thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for following along. If you're following along, if you have any questions, let me know. As we're waiting, the followers, thank you to Sandra 000000005. A Winbush. A Winbush is actually my mentee. He will be joining us soon. Salty Mish, Jahan Droxini, and R. Redirite. And she is faceless. So there you go. Jamal Charles 123121. So those are all of our new followers. Thank you all for following and seeing. Appreciate your taking the time to follow and yeah. So all right. So this updates 2 minutes after. All right. So let's go to the browser. All right. Spin, spin, spin. Spinny, spin, spin. Okay. Machine IP. I really want to reboot. Oh, there it is. 10.10, 50, 223, or 253. All right. So we will go to HTTP. No. Now, if you notice, They are using HTTP, not HTTPS, because it would be a pain to oh, good grief. Okay, dot 10.50.253 slash robots.text. Oh, that's weird. Okay. All right, let me just refresh this page here. Here we go. Okay, what am I doing wrong here? Yeah, 10.10.50.253 IP address. All right. We click on that, see if it'll come back up here. 2 minutes from when you start the machine in task 1. Okay, so I have pooched it. So let me see. Yeah, 10.10.50.253 slash robots.text. Nope. Maybe we can get around it by doing localhost dot or slash robots dot text. Nope. All right, so I learned a lesson. I will start up the attack box as soon as I get started here, and that's probably not going to work. No. 10.10.50.253. That's not going to work either. Okay. Well, these pages, such as administration portals or files, are meant for the website's customers. This file gives us a great list of locations on the website that the owners don't want us to see. It's common, it's common practice. Take a look at the robots.txt on the Acme IT support website to see if they have anything they don't want to list. To do this, open Firefox on the attack box and enter this URL. This is a long 2 minutes. Refresh Firefox. Finish. Almost done. Okay. All right. Let me double check. Oh, okay. So there it is. So, all right. Robots.txt. Nope. Okay, why is that failing like that? All right. Oh, wait. It's title Acme support v10. Copy. Boink. All right. Oh, right. I have to type it. Acme IT support v10 robots.txt. I don't think that's going to work either. It's weird. First shell cheat sheet. Oh, there's the new. Oh, there it is. Ha ha ha. Okay, copy. Link. Let's see. Well, that took a sweet time, didn't it? Okay, 10, 10, 97, 34, robots.txt. Okay, now we're back in business, yo. All right, so the user agent is star. So the robots.txt, and if anybody in chat tells me I'm wrong, I'm more than willing to admit that. But you can also change the user agent to say, if I'm coming in with a certain browser or a certain user agent string. We talked about those either yesterday or the day before, where different plugins you can do to change You can change attributes. So I'm running like Firefox 95 right now, or 97 or something. I can make the user agent string change with a plugin to say I'm coming in on 93. Well, the robots.txt can say any user agent that sees like Google bot, which the Google crawler has a specific user agent string, but you can disallow certain robots and allow other ones. So let's say DuckDuckGo has a crawler. I don't believe they do, but they may. You could say, I don't want to allow Google because they're the evil corp now, instead of, do no evil. But I'm okay with DuckDuckGo. So if I know what the agent string for DuckDuckGo is, I can say, allow them, but not them. And so what you're seeing here is disallow staff portal. So the answer to this one, of course, is staff portal. And there you go. All right, whoop, whoop. All right, so there you go. All right, and so it says the favicon. Wow, that one, the favicon is little controversial for me. I have been bitten once or twice by favicons that actually have something ugly or nasty in them, and when you load a page, it'll load the favicon and run code on a page. I have seen certain things run like that. So the idea is it's for branding. I mean, it's just a fancy little branding website thing. I mean, let me see. When you go to Feedly has a little green thing like their icon right there, for their URL. Hack the Box Academy has a little green box for that. TryHackMe has. They have their. Well, let me see. What does it look like? Looks like a little red cloud. Oh, there you go. Kind of like, yeah. Well, there you go. They're showing the example right there. Sometimes when frameworks are used to build a website, the favicon is part of the installation that gets left over. If a website developer doesn't replace this with a common one, it can give us a clue on what framework is in use. Okay, I was not aware of that. I did not think of that being a thing. Okay. OWASP posts a list of common framework icons you can use to check against targets. That's pretty sweet. I did not know that. Well, there you go. TIL. You know what I mean? All right, so the practical exercise. On the attack box, open Firefox and enter static labs tryhackme.com cloud/sites.favicon. Okay. Oof. Okay, let me see how long it takes me to type that one. HTTPS static labs.tryhackme.com/sites favicons. And you may call it favicons or something like that. I've only, oh, see, what did I type wrong? HTTPS static labs tryhackme.com/sites/ okay. Oh, favicon. That's where I got it wrong. So there you go. Oh, still not good. That is weird. Okay, what am I doing wrong here? Let me see. Basic website saying website coming soon. HTTPS static labs.tryhackme. Oh, cloud. Okay. See, that's what you get for assuming. You know what I mean? All right. Cloud. Sometimes it's trial and error. You'll be sitting around trying to, do a pen test on something, and like developers, you'll find that you've messed something up, and it takes you all day to figure out what was wrong with it. So anyway, so while this is running and may or may not work, because it seems like I have it correct now. So they say you'll see a basic website with a note saying website coming soon. If you look at your tabs, you'll notice an icon that confirms this site is using a favicon. Viewing this page source, you will see line 6 contains a link to the images./favicon.ico. If you run the following command on attack box, it will download the favicon and get its MD5 hash value, which then you can look up on that website, and then answer the question below. What framework did the icon belong to? All right, so we're gonna open up and use the command line. Don't worry, it is not scary. Let me see, there it is. Okay, so we have a terminal open. This is for those of you unfamiliar with Linux. So we have wget installed. Okay, we have wget installed. So we will, or you can use curl. I guess curl in this case, https static labs dot tryhackme dot cloud sites favicon images favicon.ico, and then pipe. Remember yesterday we talked about the pipe with dirty pipe, where it takes input from one command and sends it to another command. It's exactly what we're doing here today. Curl is going to do something, which in this case is going to retrieve the ICO file or the icon file, and then it's going to take the output from that to what's called standard in, which is like input. So in this case, input for me would be the keyboard. And it's going to send that, or redirect it, which is what the pipe does. It's going to redirect it, like a pipe, like Mario goes in the pipe. He goes in the pipe this way, and then he's going to come out to MD5 sum, which is MD5 sum. All right, so you see it's downloading, or it's trying to download. This one may not work. As a matter of fact, I don't think I got the website to load up there either. So let's see, that may not work. It wouldn't be the first time where we've seen stuff that didn't work properly. So let me see, static HTTPS. Yeah, it looks like the site is timed out. There have been some outages today, so I don't know if this has been affected by it or not. I believe that like Discord and a couple of other places were having issues today on the internet. So, all right, let me see if I can access, let's see, sites /favicon/images /favicon.ico. If it doesn't work, we'll just have to come back to it later, hopefully. Okay, let me go back to the box, shrink that up. Okay, I don't need that one. All right, there we go. Yeah, it looks like it's just sitting and hanging. So anybody else able to get to this if they're working through this with me? Anyone else able to activate the favicon or getting the ICO? Otherwise, we'll just continue on through. So we'll have to come back to that one later. So, all right. Well, we'll call it what it is. It's down, or there's some issue there. I'll make sure that close the icon, tac box. Okay. All right. So we're going to go back to 10.10.97.34. All right. Unlike the robots.txt, which restricts what search engine crawlers can look at, sitemap.xml file gives a list of every file the website owner wishes to be listed on a search engine. Oh, very nice. Okay. This can sometimes contain areas of the website that are a bit more difficult to navigate, or even some lists some old web pages that the current site no longer uses but is still working behind the scenes. All right. So sorry, I had to shut my window. All right, so let's go to 10.10.97. 10.10.97.34 sitemap. If this doesn't work, I'm almost willing to bet that there's an issue with their website. So it's fun, but then we're at the mercy. Okay, there you go. All right, so Sitemap.xml. All right, so sitemap.xml. We talked a little bit about what an XML file is. It was a precursor of HTML. So HTML is a standard that came from XML. It's just HTML is a codified XML file where it says, this is what's understood as an H or a P tag or what have you. With XML, you can make any kind of a tag you want, and using an XSLT, which we talked about with the vulnerabilities with the XSLTs the other day, you can define what URL means or what LOC means or what last mod means. If you want last mod to be a header, you can make it say, okay, anything with the last mod tag is 85 point font or something like that. So all right, so what is the secret area that can be found in the site XML file? So okay, so down at the very bottom, very cool, you have super secret area. So there you go. You have S3, they're all leet speak and everything. Well, at least for the first part of the story. All right, so we'll go to and call it slash. So the answer to this one, you can find it by going S3, CR3T, TAC AREA, and submit. There we go. Anybody have any questions on that one? The sitemap is something that it's not on every site. You can definitely, the first two things you should look at if you're walking through an app or a website, click on all the links and stuff, but yeah, check and see if there's anything hiding on the site. You can also do things like check to see, like we did earlier with that website, see if you can get a directory structure or something like that. Part of the reconnaissance and the walking through and mapping the app is gathering as much information as you can before you get started. And like I said, you can often find and log vulnerabilities ahead of time. If you can say, well, hey, you shouldn't be showing this directory structure because it shows you everything, or do you really, this would be a bug like, hey, I've noticed your sitemap shows you, a secret area that you don't want people to view. So, yeah, you should go in and do that and look for these kinds of files to review that. So, any questions on sitemap or robots or anything that we've been doing to this point? I really want to see if I can get that to working again. So, let me see. Well, that was a weird weird thing. What was that? Okay. I heard a whoop. So, whoop. This history. Oh, okay. So you close the terminal and all the history goes away. All right. So, I really want to check that out. All right. So, we'll go back to task 3 eventually. If I have to, I'll run through it and leave a screenshot or something for tomorrow. When we make requests to the web server, the server returns various HTTP headers. So HTTP's Hypertext Transport Protocol. These headers can sometimes contain useful information such as the web server software and possibly the programming and scripting language in use. Banner grabs are something that's very important. You get an error message on a web page and it'll say file not found. You can often get the like we mentioned before, the OS that's running it. And so let's see, you can go like this, and I may have borked it. So if you go and purposely try to give yourself where it'll error out to a 404, sometimes it'll give you the tags and stuff for that. So, all right. So in the example below, we see the web server's Nginx version 1.18.0 and runs a PHP version of 7.4.3. I need to see what version of Nginx we're on right now. So Nginx. Let's see, what version of Nginx are we? Okay, so the stable release right now is 1.20.2, which came out 16 November 2021. And the latest PHP version is All right, so PHP 8. Looks like PHP 8 might be the latest version, released in 26 November 2020. Has breaking changes from previous versions. Okay, that's good to know. It's good to know. 8.1 was released 25 November of last year. So yeah, the latest version is 8.1, 25 November 2021. All right, so one of the things you don't want to do on sites like this necessarily is hack those sites. There may be vulnerabilities in these versions of PHP and Nginx, but you definitely don't want to play around with that. Sometimes if you're doing CTFs, you will find they have clauses in the CTFs, especially the higher end ones, where it's like, don't hack the scoreboard, or hacking of the infrastructure outside of the environment that you've been told to be in. So they have a scope. There have been stories that I've heard of where people hacked the scoreboards and actually won the game that way. There's actually some CTFs that are like, hey, if you can hack the scoreboard and get in, then, bully for you and you win. So there's that as well. So, all right, now we're going to curl this up. 10.10.97.34. 10.10.97.34. Okay. Curl. And then, there's no real huge difference between wget and curl. There's some syntax, obviously, but if you feel more comfortable using wget, you can do that. There's curl. There's also one called Pavuk, P-A-V-U-K. You can also use that one. Let me double check and see what I'm being pinged on Slack for. Okay. Okay, it's a here. All right. All right, curl. HTTP 10.10.97.34. And that's the verbose. -V is verbose. That means, verbose mode, which will output the headers. So let me see. What do we have? We have, I put a capital V. My bad. All right, let me go back in. Small case V. All right, so you got a whole mess of stuff that just came out. Scroll back up to the top, and you will see where it says rebuilt URL to 10.10.97.34. TCP no delay set. Okay, get. Okay, so see, here's the user agent. Let's say you had somebody who was using curl to, scrape websites. If you notice somebody who's using curl in your user agent string, you could, say, oh, hey, I know they're probably scraping my website using, curl or what have you. You can actually block curl in some respects, depending on the version. Of course, they can go in and potentially modify the user agent string, like I said, and get around that. So, all right, Nginx 1.18.0, and let me see. What is the flag value from the X flag? Ah, there you go. All right, so for the answer to this one, what is the flag value from X flag header? You can put pretty much, I think, whatever flags you want to put in the HTTP headers. If anybody knows any different and wants to, correct me on that, please feel free to do so. THM, curly bracket, and then it's header flag. That was pretty easy. All right. Wait, THM. Okay, yeah, submit. Ding. Okay, good. That one was fairly easy. That was good. That one was nice. Yeah, you can get a lot of information from this. Also, certain server flags, I believe, are also shown up in here. Like if they have track and trace, I think, is another one as well. Those are like old school web vulnerabilities that really aren't much of a thing anymore, but they used to have those as well. Manual discovery. One second. What's this? Oh, yeah, I knew that. All right. Been talking a lot today. Had a lot of meetings. Wednesday is my busy day normally, so. But I always take time for my friends on the stream here. So, framework stack. Once you've established the framework of a website, either from the above favicon example or by looking for clues in the page source, such as comments, copyright notices, or credits, then you can locate the framework's website. From there, we can learn more about the software and other information, possibly leading to more content we can discover. That's right. So, you know, a lot of times, and especially for things like WordPress, one of the things that they've gotten really good at over the years is use WordPress, but don't tell people you're using WordPress, especially if you're using a ton of different apps and stuff. But of course, the first app or plugin that you install can often go, oh, I know that that plugin only happens in WordPress. So now I know you use WordPress because you're using, you know, funkycalendar.1.0 or whatever. So yeah, I mean, your OSINT's only as good as the plugins that you're employing to, you know, be on your website. So, ooh, I got a little Geotic cam going on here. So there we go. All right, look at the source for our IT support website. So we will go back to our browser. Okay, yeah, could not find that page. All right, so it did finally load. It is slow today, so that is interesting. So, HTTP 10.10.97.34. All right, well, I'll just click Acme support and go that route with it. It is slow today, though. Interesting. Okay. We may have to, you know, break on this one if it's going extremely slow. I'd like to think it's not my stream, but you know, if anybody's noticing that my stream is having issues with frame rate issue, no, it says 30 frames per second, so I seem to be doing all right. I was having some issues there earlier. What was this 26 minutes ago? Oh, okay. Apologies. All right. That's really weird. Okay, so there's some jankiness going on with that, but let me see what I can do. See if I can. Okay, so I can get the site map up again. So there's some things that are good and some things that are not. But yeah, there's definitely some issues here with the server. All right, well, let's just go to the URL. So you'll see a comment at the end of every page with a page load time. I think we saw that yesterday when we were doing this. When you did view source on the home page, it was like down at the bottom, it was like, oh, you're using this, you know, framework or what have you. So let's see if we can go to HTTPS static. And we're going to try this old chestnut again over here. TryHackMe.cloud/sites THM web framework. And of course, I'm not using the premium version, which, you know, if anybody is looking for a free premium version on this, you can, you know, send me a whisper, or, you know, the first person to say, hey, I want a copy of, you know, I want a premium version of TryHackMe, then you will do that. But let me see. Let's see. We got some Google dorking in here. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to skip number 6 as well. Anything having to do with the website looks like it might be kind of janky today. So there are also external resources available that can help in discovering information about your target website. These sources are often referred to as OSINT or open source intelligence, as they're freely available tools to collect information. Google hacking, Google dorking, there you go. Google hacking and dorking utilizes Google's advanced search engine features, checks in the mail, I guess, which will allow you to pick out custom content. For instance, you can pick out results from a certain domain name using the site filter. For example, tryhackme.org. So, and we're going to do this on my site because it's a little quicker. So you can do www.google.com. Okay, we're on the Googles. Don't switch. I'm using Chrome. I'm using Edgeium actually, and it's wanting me to convert to Chrome. So yeah, site TryHackMe.com. So you get a bunch of stuff about TryHackMe. So you'll see everything on the first page. Everything's like TryHackMe website statistics and online tools, TryHackMe HackerOne CTF write-up, Hacker of the Hill, alternatives and similar sites. What rooms should you do? A free guide to beginners. There you go. So if you're looking for, a guide to beginners on that, you can do that. TryHackMe, notopening.com, TryHackMe home Facebook. So there's a ton of stuff you can get just by going there. Linux Fundamentals Part 2 write-ups. So if you are running through this stuff, this TryHackMe site, and you get stuck on something and the hint doesn't work for you, there's plenty of walkthroughs, very similar to this one, where you can follow along and listen. Oh, the Fluffy. Hey, I know the Fluffy. Hey, awesome. Good for her. We've had her on the show talking about some hacking items and stuff. So, contrary to popular belief, there's nothing past the first page on Google, even though it does say there's page 2. But I'm being facetious, of course. There are plenty of search requests. You can go thousands of pages in. You'll actually be surprised what you can find on those pages, because they're not as popular. But I don't know how do I say this. What people are normally looking for is the stuff that can be seen. Google will do everything. So, you get down to about 8 or 9 pages, and you might actually find some esoteric stuff that is helpful. Or, the only reason they're on like page 7 or 8 is because whatever people clicked on for the previous pages are far more popular. So, you may actually find hidden websites or things. So if you're doing Google dorking or Google searching for certain things like tryhackme.com, or whatever other domain you're looking for, it may keep track of things like old versions of websites and stuff. So it may behoove you to go down 4, 5, 6, 7 pages. There's going to come a point where it's diminishing returns, so it may not be worth it. But if you're, looking for a specific nugget, or, you're going to get caching here. So it's like, hey, what about this result, whatever. They're going to ask you for a cached version. So the cached versions are pretty cool. You might be able to, see, apparently TryHackMe is not down. They were having degrading on the 25th. So so it must just be me. I don't know. Must just be me. Anyway, all right, let's go back to the TryHackMes here. So site finder, tryhackme.com. In URL admin returns results that have specified word in the URL. So that's pretty cool. So like tryhackme.com/admin or wp-sites/admin. That's a good one. Or it used to be a good one. File type PDF. That's another good one. I know of a person that I know who might search websites looking for PDFs. That should keep me out of jail, I think. But there's a plethora of stuff out there, and Google dorking will help you find a bunch of stuff, legitimately or otherwise. If you are looking for academic papers, for instance, or whatever's out there. If you're looking for a specific file type like MKV or PDF, or of a specific file name, maybe you're hunting for malware. That's not hard to find either if you Google dork it right. If you know the name of a file, or what the extension of something that may be carrying malicious content. There's a number of different ways you can get around that stuff. So. All right, so for more information about Google hacking can be found at wikipedia.org/wiki/Google hacking. What Google dork operator can be used to show only results from a specific site? So this one was pretty duh again. So watch me get it wrong. Oh no, I got it right. Okay, good. All right, so let us continue on, because I don't think that this site is working. Yeah, they must be having something wrong with their lab, especially the egress part where it's able to go out to bang on things. Um, yeah, weird. All right, so continuing on. Wapalyzer. So Wapalyzer is an online tool and browser extension that helps you identify what technologies a website uses. Oh, I love this one. Yeah, Wapalyzer. So let's go take a look at that one. All right, so this is a good OSINT tool, website URL technology. So they're using it for things like lead generation or market research. Hey, I noticed your website uses, Janky Bob's CRM or something like that. Tell me how I can help you, buy more CRM crap or whatever. You can, go through and look for all those things. And this is with great power. This is one of those with great power websites. It's like, you've created this to understand the technologies, but should you actually have done it? That kind of thing. So, or content management systems, payment processors, and more. You can even find version numbers as well. What online tool can be used to identify what technologies a website is running? Seriously? Okay. This one's not hard. Okay, so I hope I spelled Wapalyzer right. I did. Okay, good. The Wayback Machine. Yes, this is excellent. Yes. Wayback Machine's a historical archive of websites that date back to the late 90s. Not just the late 90s. I mean, you can find stuff last week. I know a lot of organizations are keeping track of... keeping track of versions of websites, especially news websites or propaganda websites or things where people have tweeted things so that they can keep track and log those items later. That way, usually what happens is you go, kind of like Human Decoded when he was talking about, being able to, during Sunflower Con this weekend, when he was talking about, hey, I want to be able to see what tweets I have deleted. Well, Internet Wayback Machine or archive.org keeps track of those things for some reason. So you can go to archive.org, look up your handle, and go poke on those things. So what is the website for the Wayback Machine? Okay, so https archive.org/web. Okay. Well, that one was easy enough. All right, OSINT, GitHub. To understand GitHub, you need to understand Git. Git is a version control system that tracks changes to files in a project. Working in a team is easier because you can see what each team member is editing and what changes they made to the files. Your users are finished making their changes. They commit them with a message and then push them up to a central repo. There's been a lot made out of that recently. I want to say we've did some news stories. GitHub secrets found. So yeah. So if you go to App Developer Magazine, here's a story about GitHub secrets revealing API keys, usernames, passwords, and more exposed. This was from 30 March 2021, but they say over 2 million secrets have been detected on public GitHub in 2020, and this number is growing 20% year over year, according to GitGuardian states of the secret sprawl. Yeah, this is OSINT, right? So one of the major findings is 85% of secrets are found in developers' personal repos outside of corporate control. So somebody's accidentally git committed to the wrong repo, for instance, and developers in their own personal accounts may not have the same security controls as mandated by corporate, which is funny because a lot of organizations now, at least when I talk on our Slack channel, I was like, hey, who the hell hooks up their personal stuff to their work laptop? Because I don't put personal stuff on my work laptop. All of my personal stuff stays over here on my personal laptop. And some people are like, well, if you work on a project that is open source, we encourage you to bring your personal profile in because it shows your contributing to open source outside of the company. And you can say, well, hey, Brian made 500 commits to this open source code base as part of his job. So it looks better in your CV and long term, showing that you care about open source and what have you. One of the major findings is that 85% of these secrets, are found. They use their personal repo. So sometimes they may get commit to a wrong repo or wrong directory or what have you. So anyway, to understand GitHub, you need to understand Git. Git is a version control system that tracks changes to files in a project. GitHub is a hosted version of Git on the internet. Repositories can either set to public or private and have various access controls. You can use GitHub search feature to look for company names or website names to try and locate repositories belonging to your target. You can also look for certain, I think they may have mentioned certain values. If you're looking for certain hashes or API key links, if you know that, say, Google Cloud's API keys for control of environments or something is 32 characters long, you can look for alphanumerics that are 32 characters long in a single thing. Once discovered, you may have access to source code, passwords, and other content you hadn't found yet. So what is Git? Wow, that's difficult. I don't know what Git might be. Yeah, there we go. I don't trust my mouse right now, so. There we go. Whoop, whoop. All right. Okay, we're getting there. S3 buckets. The only reason they mention S3 buckets is because there's probably an easy way of doing this, but they have let me close the browser here. Oh, the page finally loaded. All right, so they say it's a storage service provided by AWS, allowing people to save files and even static website content in the cloud accessible over HTTP and HTTPS. Probably should only be HTTPS, depending on what you're working on. Owner of these files can set access permissions to make files public, private, or even writable. A lot has been made about publicly accessible S3 buckets. A lot of companies set up these S3 buckets and put a ton of stuff in their S3 buckets. And what they don't realize is they're publicly accessible or publicly readable. So in the last few years, Amazon has had to save people from themselves because it's like, oh, we've been breached. Oh, our S3 buckets weren't set correctly. And help us, Amazon. And Amazon's like, it works as intended. We give you the tools. You should be securing them. But it has come to in the last few years, I believe, when I was working at another company, where if you set a publicly accessible site, an S3 bucket, you will get some kind of warnings. You have to pretty much say, yeah, you know what you're doing, and continue on. So they want you to go to tryhackmeassets.s3.amazonaws.com. Okay, so there you go. And make sure that S3 buckets can be discovered in many ways, such as finding URLs on the website source code, GitHub repos, or even automating the process. Yeah, I mean, there's even people that will try to enumerate those and just run through them massively because, it's just a curl request, right? You can just curl through, various, because this one is, you've got a host ID, you've got a request ID, you can look those things up. All right, so what URL format do S3 buckets end in? So it goes dot, asterisk, asterisk, dot, bot. Okay, so what they want for that answer is dot s3 dot amazonaws.com. All right, so that one's easy peasy. So these are all fairly easy, I think, except I'll have to go back and look at 3 and 6. But number 12, all right, automated discovery. Automated discovery is the process of using tools to discover content rather than doing it manually. This process is automated as it contains hundreds, thousands, or millions of requests to a web server. These requests check whether a file or directory exists on a website, giving us access to resources we didn't know existed. This process is made possible using word lists. You either can find word lists online. Back in the day when people were doing things like trying to break WPA2 passwords or WPA passwords for wireless access. There is, I think, Church of the Dead Cow has Wi-Fi. Let's see, Church of the Dead Cow. I think they still have WPA or word lists. No, that's not it. Let me see. Church of the Dead Cow. Maybe they have a web. Maybe the website's on their Wikipedia page here. Nope. All right, let's Wi-Fi word lists. Okay, so there's a number of word lists online that you can find. The most popular ones are obviously for WPA and WPA2. For Kali Linux. Actually, Kali Linux, I believe, has a handful of smaller ones. One of the most popular word lists for doing things like cracking passwords is the RockU one, which I think is still around. I believe Darknet Diaries did a story, RockU, Darknet Diaries. Yeah, they did a story on the history of the RockU. Episode 33 did an episode on the history of RockU and where it came from. So there you go. If you want to go check out that story, Jack. That was one of his earlier episodes, I think. This was in 2019. Okay, so yeah, it's been a couple years. So yeah, it's an older one, but it checks out, sir. So yeah, there's Kali has also, you can also go and download other Word files from Kali Linux. I think they're in their distros, or you can just, download. They do take some time to download though, and they're usually in a zipped format. I think one of the larger Word files at the time, I think was like a complete hash rainbow table of WPA2. Don't get me wrong, but it's something like, at the time was a lot. It was like 80, 90 gigs to download, and that was in a zipped format. So you had to have a lot of hard drive space for that. Anyway, word lists are just text files that contain a long list of commonly used words that can be used over many use cases. Password lists will include most frequently used passwords, password 1, 2, 3, summer 2029, that kind of thing. Daniel Meisler's sec lists has a good one. That's pretty good. Although there are many different content discovery tools available, all with their own features and flaws, we're going to cover 3 of which are installed in our attack box. Sorry, what's that? Complete lists and dictionaries. Oh, sorry, Cyber. If you can obfuscate your URL, I still don't allow URLs to be posted. The security guy in me is a little wigged out about just allowing random people just to pop stuff in there. The automation tools, you can obfuscate it and put brackets around the periods or something. I'm sure there's a way to get around the filter that they've got in the case, but I apologize for that, but we've got a lot of people that don't necessarily come from a security background, and I just, if they come from me, they're going to be safe because ideally I'm going to visit that site before you visit it. So if you click on the links to like robots.org or Darknet Diaries, oh man, it's getting you. Okay, Cyber Gladius, homework, figure out how to get around the stream chat URL block or whatever. I'm just kidding. I can't believe they don't allow that, but yeah. You can whisper it to me if you want to as well. I think I could probably hook you up that way, but so there's you can execute 3 commands on the Acme website and see what results you get. User machine, they have FUF, F-U-F-F, Derby, and GoBusters. So these are directory, the word lists in this case, GoBuster, Derby, and FUF. Whatever. You only pronounce the first F or whatever. I don't know. Derby and GoBuster in those, they will enumerate the website. Now, the one thing to Do they tell you that? Automation tool. Okay, so the one thing about the automation tools is it's going to be noisy as hell. So if you have a blue team and you're banging on the outside of their website numerous times, making numerous requests for certain word lists, it's going to blow up their log files, especially if it's coming from one IP address. So something to think about when you're running these things. Don't run these against a legitimate website. Please do not run these against a legitimate website. The best thing you can do is, get a VulnHub website. Go to VulnHub or something, and find a VM where you can bang on. Bang on a system in the quiet of your own home. The last thing you want to do is to go to someplace legit like Microsoft or Google or something. They probably won't even know. It probably gets stuck in all the noise. But you go to someplace that actually is kind of a mid-sized company or something. You start banging on their site. One, they're either going to blacklist your site, or you're going to cause an incident response or something like that. But it is very noisy. So here's VulnHub. At some point, we'll be going through some of the VulnHub stuff. There's actually numerous websites and blog posts out there. WAF-Woof, yes, very, very good. CyberGladius. WAF-Woof will let you detect if there's a web application firewall. So if you're a jackass and you decide you want to run Derby against a website, it'll actually, WAF-Woof will tell you if there's a WAF there. Eventually, we're going to get to the point where we're going to be talking about ways to bypass WAFs. It is possible. Pretty much all of them can be bypassed. It just takes a little bit of time and effort, and doing things like changing how the URLs are encoded or what have you. There's other ways of doing that. Anyway, don't be stupid. Don't use these tools in the real world. Definitely don't use them against your own company, because if you're in the blue team and you run this against your own company, if you have any kind of decent MSP or somebody logging that stuff, you're going to get, you might get some nasty grams, or you might get to help out with the incident response on that. So. All right, so it says, what is the name of the directory beginning with Mo that was discovered? All right, so I need to go back into the, all right, so we're going to use FUF. So FFUF, W, user, God bless. Okay, so this is where, this is where my old ass eyes, word lists. Oh, good. Okay, it's got web content common dot text dash u http 10.10.97.34 / fuzz. So there you go. There's some things there. So let me see. What did we find? Error robust.txt site monthly. Oh, so there's error monthly. Let me see if I can make this a little bigger. Problem is I don't know if okay, so let's see, progress, status. Starts with MO. I think monthly is is what we're looking for here. Where is it? Monthly. Oh, yeah, let me. No, don't do that. Come on, man, let me separate the screen. All right, let's try a different command. Let's see, Derby. HTTP 10.10.97.34 / and then / user share word lists. Yep, I'm not imagining that. Yep, I'm not imagining that. Oh, stupid. Oh, that's annoying. Okay, all right, I get you. All right. Discovery, web, content, common, dot text. I don't know why it wasn't working that time, so I spelled something wrong. God, dog it. User share, word lists, sec list discovery. Oh, see? One little thing. One little thing. Sec lists, which is why it didn't work after the fact. So there we go. Yeah, I prefer Derby to the other ones. So you're gonna find a lot of stuff here. So looks like I was correct. It's actually /monthly came up. So there's a hidden directory there. /monthly. Submit. Yay, I was right. What is the name of the log file that was discovered? So you're going to get, let me see. So there, oh, look, development.log. Ooh, sexy. That might be interesting because one of the things they'll show you is the different codes. So contact code 200, so HTML codes or HTTP codes, just to give you a little thing to give you status codes here. Informational responses are 100 to 199. Successful responses are 200 to 299. Redirection is like, you go into www.google.com, you come into a load balancer, or you come into a WAF, or you come into something, and it's like, oh, okay, what you really want, because this site is gone, but we want to send you to a legitimate site so you don't end up with a 404 or 503 or something like that, which tends to hurt customer experience. Something. Client error messages, the most favorites 404, 403, forbidden. Yeah, there's a ton of them. And the server errors like, I want to say 503. What was it? No, 500 internal server error. Bad gateway is another good one. You'll see that sometimes if you hit Cloudflare issues. 502, service unavailable. Yeah, gateway timeouts, another one. Yeah, so, but they have enough space to implement, hundreds of these codes. Let me see, what's another good one here? Misdirection request. I'm a teapot. That's a pretty funny one. Server refused to attempt to brew coffee. That's one example of somebody being funny in the RFC. It wasn't funny ever. So, unsupported file type, length required, gone. Let's see what you got. Yeah, so you got 404 not found. So if you go to some website and it doesn't exist, forbidden is actually different. Forbidden means maybe the site that exists, but you as normal user person can't access it. That's a more of a permissions or an access right issue. That doesn't necessarily mean the page doesn't exist. It just means you don't have the permissions to get to it. So there's like, oh, what do I need to do to get permission to be able to access this? So there might be some discussion there where you can say, okay, I just need to try harder. Ugh, hate that term, but it is what it is. All right, so expiring soon. No. Okay, so let me type in development.log, so I get my goodies here. Yay, I'm done. Well, I'm not done, but 3 and 6 need to be done at some point, and I will probably run through those. But yeah, so that's it. What these are pretty duh. Let me see if I can guess this. Let me see. 6 characters. Favicon. I could do a hint. Let me just open. Okay, that's not helpful. 6 characters. Let me see. 6 character framework, not WordPress. Not jQuery. Any ideas? Anybody know a 6 character? What's a 6? It's like a crossword puzzle. What's a 6 character word for a web framework? Oh, it's broke. What is the flag from the framework's administration portal? Yeah, see, that's going to be a legit one. I just got here. Oh, what? Oh, hey, Pacer Death, what's up? Thank you for being here. I appreciate that. So Pacer Death, just to get you up to speed here, we ran through the content discovery lesson. and we did task all but task 3 and 6 because it seems like the lab is kind of janky today. I could not access the website. You'll see it on the video. Yeah. So, but yeah, so we had a lot of good discussion. Cyber Gladius was trying to bypass the URL filter on Stream Chat. That's homework for Cyber Gladius later on. Before we go, and I thank everybody who's on here. About midnight last night, and if it looked like crap, it's because I was up till midnight trying to work on the new Discord that I have for BreakSec. I have a Slack channel. We've had it for a long time. Everything that I've seen about Slack is not very conducive to working with Twitch, or in such a way as to work with Twitch. And it seems like everybody who has a Twitch has Discord. Twitch themselves say, well, if you want to continue building your community when you're not streaming, this is a good way of doing it. We've been doing it on Slack for a while, and it's worked. But there's a lot of I think there's a lot that you can do with the Discord that you can't do with Slack. One of the biggest things with free Slack that we use for BreakSec is message archives. We've got about 750,000 messages we can't get to, close to 1 million messages we can't get to that are trapped in an archive, and I can't afford $4 per person per month. So with 2,200 people, you all do the math. So it is a tech company thing, and I have heard from more than one person in our Slack that I don't have a Discord. And then, of course, you hear the people, well, I have, two Slacks and 15 Discords, that kind of thing. I actually have 19 Discords because they just are. But yeah, the reason I used Slack at the time when I set this up was companies might frown upon you installing Discord, and they necessarily wouldn't frown on you by mapping yet another Slack to your already existing Slack if you're using it in your environment. So that was the reason we went with Slack at the time. Had I known what I was doing now 5 years ago, I probably would have started on Discord, but it is what it is. So I'm still working that out. I've got the bot set up. I've got the code of conduct and everything set up. I've actually been testing with a couple of our Patreon supporters and a couple of our mods from the Slack. NXVL, I thank you for also following today, NXVL, who followed yesterday, as a matter of fact. But Nicholas was helping me out this morning, being my guinea pig. I was, taking permissions away from him and giving him permissions back, and gave him access to our Patreon only channel. One of the things I'm trying to figure out is what we're going to continue doing with the Patreon, if we're going to suspend it or make, figure out what we can add in terms of rewards there. I'm the only one working on this like full time in my off time. So trying to make sure that I don't do this wrong. I want to make sure we're doing it right. So if anybody has any thoughts, any comments, any opinions, please feel free to send me a DM on Twitter, or, hit me up in Stream Chat when I'm here. You can whisper me and say, hey, I think this would be a good idea. Okay. Hey, how about this? And we'll see what we can do. Like I said, it's going to be an iterative process, working on getting things up and running and making sure that we're doing it right. If I do too much at one time, then I won't be able to unscrew it up when I've screwed it up. So I want to make sure we're doing this correctly and in a somewhat secure method. I mean, a lot of these, if you go on Twitch or Streamlabs or whatever, there's a ton of extensions, a ton of things. And my worry is, I don't know what they're doing with the data or what injecting those modules into our experience here will do. As somebody who deals with security on a regular basis, just blindly putting in plugins or blindly doing these things, we're looking at, potentially getting, somebody had mentioned the Discord, one of the bots on Discord app on Reddit, that one of the bots looked like it had been taken over because people were getting added blindly to thousands and thousands of Discords. And I was like, whoa, I don't want to be that person, having a security Discord and then having your bot, adding 15, 20,000 people is just not my idea of fun. So that's something I'm looking at, trying to add things cautiously. Discord integrations, figuring out how to make your Patreon so when people join our Patreon, they'll be able to automatically either hook up their Discord, or they can send me an invite, and I'll just give them the Patreon permissions inside the Discord. Seeing how we can do that at scale, because I can do it ones and twosies right now, but it's got to work at scale. Because ideally, I'm trying to think of the future here. So I do thank everybody for coming. That's the end of our stream today. If you have any questions, like I said, send me a whisper, send me some information if you'd like, and make sure I don't have any whispers here that I need to reply to. Okay. Default Discord is not bad. I would set it up so people can't see channels until they get a role. That's what I've done, and I needed a bot that would do that, Pastry, because I could just invite people. World plus dog. Hey, here's the invite link. Come on in. But the problem is, I liked the Discords where you have to go in, you have to read the code of conduct, you have to understand. Don't be an a-hole in my community because I'll ban the hell out of you. I wanted something like I've seen on several Discords where you've got to click the link to acknowledge the portal. Once you do that, you get a role that says you've acknowledged the code of conduct, and it will let you into whatever level that you're allowed to. In this case, the verified or whatever. So I have one that just starts out at like level 0 saying, you've abided by the code of conduct, you've verified yourself. And so you're like level 0, level 1. Level 2 is like the Patreon. So you get access to the secret Patreon channel. I also have a section for gamers, so we're going to be doing some game playing, backdoors and breaches, or we may actually play some Curse of Strahd or something like that, or a Fate RPG or something like that, because we work hard, we play hard. So we might have other events online, like if a B-Sides wanted to use our stream, I could set up a channel for B-Sides. Joe Bob Billy time or whatever, and create a stream and a channel just specifically for that B-Sides or what have you. So I'm just trying to think how I can structure this so that it doesn't suck and it's somewhat secure for people, so that they don't come in and have a bad experience in our Discord. I don't have the cards. The only time I had an opportunity to get backdoors and breaches, right, and yes, I definitely want to keep the bots out. And when we did Sunflower Con, Pastry, one of the things was I made sure that URLs were not enabled, because I didn't know who was going to be attending that. And it was very heavily geopolitically discussed with Russia and Ukraine and other folks. And the last thing I wanted was somebody coming on up in there, throwing down a bunch of URLs where people would click on them and potentially get owned. And, I'm cognizant of that, actually, to the point where it's actually caused me some user experience issues. Like, people wouldn't be able to chat in here because some people don't like, verifying their phone numbers or verifying their emails or whatever. So I believe I still have email verification, or I have like your account must be more than 10 minutes old. But I could crank that usability up to where it's green, which green is good for me because I'm a security person, but it's unusable for most everybody who's never used Twitch or never been on here before. So just trying to and I've seen that a lot in my own company that I work for. It's like, I can make this thing secure as hell, but nobody's going to want to use it because the usability factor is just complete. So what I'm trying to keep that happy medium, if you will. So anyway, I've taken up a lot of your time, and I appreciate everybody for taking the time to stay with me here and learn something. We'll probably go through another one of these sections tomorrow, if anybody has any questions, please let me know. Otherwise, have a good night, and I'll see you tomorrow.